Hey everybody, Brian Johnson here from E3 Off-Road Association, and welcome to the Fireside Chat, Conversation with the Pros. Hi everybody, we're here at the beautiful Zion Ponderosa Ranch Resort, just on the outside of Zion National Park. It is absolutely gorgeous here, and we're going to have a little fireside chat here. We have all kinds of topics that we're going to talk about. We have some really special guests that we're going to interview or talk about in just a few seconds, and we have social media questions that we're going to go over with you, and we're just going to have a really great time. We're going to have a conversation here, an open conversation. Here's some incredible topics, and talk about some of the stuff we've actually been doing the last few days. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to everybody. And of course, over here, we have somebody that in a very short time I've come to really, really respect. And he's a tremendous guy, tons of experience in this industry and in our community. And he's making jokes at me right now. But that's okay. But that's what we're here for, everybody, to have fun. So, first of all, Brian Woody Swearingen.
And you got that correct. That's a hard name to do.
Yes, definitely.
Woody's a challenge, I know.
Woody by itself is a hard one. But, so,
wow. Family show.
But anyway, guys, so I'm real excited to have Woody here. And, you know, I've been fortunate to be able to spend a few days with him. And just a few short days with Woody and also with Rich Klein, who we're going to talk about in a second. I probably learned more from these two guys that I've learned in over a year of doing my own research when it comes to our community of off-road and stuff. So I'm really excited. We got some really good questions for him. Some he might not like, but most of them he's going to like. So
I make up answers. I'm good with
there you go. So you're not going to make up these, I guarantee you. So
trust me.
Also we have to my left Mr. Rich Klein from the Trail Hero, thetrailhero.com. And again, another guy that's got tremendous amount of experience in this world.
Well, thanks for having us.
Cool. And of course, to my right, we have Brittany and Kevin Williams from Lite, Brite, and from E3, by the way. They are the founders of E3 Off-Road Association. And it's kind of a secret. We're not supposed to talk about it, but we're actually going to talk about it today. We're going to spill the beans a little bit about...
At least a little bit.
A little bit.
Okay.
We won't talk about it too much, but it's a big secret. But we're going to go ahead and talk about that. So we're going to hit first the questions that came in from social media. We got a couple really good questions that came in from social media. And the first ones are for Woody and you guys. But first one is for you guys. Everybody wants to know, where did the term Lite Brite come from?
That's actually a good question, because I wanted to know that.
There you go.
That's a great question.
And we're going to find out right now.
So this is my one to tell.
Sort of.
Lite Brite, believe it or not, Lite Brite actually used to be a nickname I had in high school. Back in the day, if you know what scene kid means, like
Nope.
the kids that were super, maybe a little old for this.
Too old.
But, so
hurts.
a scene kid
but
is
it's true.
basically, it was someone who was super big into like rave music, techno music.
You heard
like,
of raves?
Raves.
No.
Like where kids go out in the middle of the night to like abandoned warehouses and...
My daughter goes to raves. I know about
Okay.
the kid.
Okay.
So
Anymore.
I was a big scene kid. I love techno music, and with that kind of comes
Trance.
whole glow stick sort of thing. And I may have shown up to a party once covered in like no less than 100 glow sticks. And so
it was clothes, but fishnets from appendage, and then the glow
Glow
sticks
sticks
were
were, like,
woven in.
woven in?
Fishnet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
She was
So-
a walking.
Do we have
glow
video
No.
of this?
there may be photos if I dug real deep. But
Social media
this one-
request.
hold on, this one you will know. So have you remember the Lite Brite game from the 70s?
Oh, yeah.
The little pegboard light game?
No,
So-
I don't.
So, but it basically, two and two together, they called me Lite Brite. So that was always my login name for my emails, everything, AOL.com when that was like a thing. And then the YouTube channel, when I created it to send videos just to friends and family, it was just my login. And then the YouTube channel became a thing. And then when it was a thing, it suddenly was too late to change it, and it stuck.
So, right, with that, what happened was we were also filming for something very special and secret, And while we were gone and we couldn't post anything on social media, we'd already made a few off-roading videos, and one of them was the 5 Things We Hate video, and that one blew up while we were in this camp of secrecy.
Camp of secrecy.
And so we went from 300 or 400 subscribers to like 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers over.
And we couldn't change it at that point.
And
So
at
it's
that
like,
point,
oh,
we're
if we
like,
change it now, like it just felt like it was too late, and then it stuck. But I like it.
And this one's for Woody, and everybody wants to know, where'd Woody come from?
Bit of a campfire fanatic. Back in the mid '90s, I had come out of the woods a few times with actual logs tied to the roof of the roll cage on my FJ40. Like long enough that they stuck out past the front and back of the vehicle, and heavy enough that if I wasn't careful, I could roll in the middle of the woods.
I see, people in rental, side-by-sides and stuff, just going right off the top of that dune and right down the other side. I mean, what's the proper way to approach that?
Yeah, so the key is keeping momentum, and then when you get to the top of the hill, you don't need to carry that momentum beyond the top of the hill. So once you get to the top of the hill, you make your turn left or right, examine your downhill, and then execute your downhill. And that's kind of the key to dunes. So you'll always see somebody pull up, turn, and then come back down.
Woody, can you tell us about Kitty Sandbox?
Oh, Kitty
Oh,
yeah. And I had some friends in town. Kitty and Rick from Atlanta were in town. And so Kitty's riding with me, and I'm in my F-toy thing, and Rich comes up to this hard slice crack that I've seen guys in the daylight not make it through, and I've got headlights. So I make it through that somehow. At the end of that, this little wall that goes up, it's a rear steer only kind of climb, and I'm in a drag axle F-toy that really shouldn't do that, but it looked like fun, so I tried it. Failed miserably, ended up doing a wheel stand, and I've got gear lube coming out of the shift tower, leaking onto my shirt and onto my lap. Kitty's in the passenger seat, fine. We're both strapped in. We're just kind of sitting there doing nothing. And then I, get out of the car, get it winched down, we get ourselves out. I take my shirt off. I'm wiping the oil off because I'm still covered in 90 weight.
Looking hot as ever.
So I basically walked into my house with a pretty redhead on my arm, covered in gear lube, to say hi to my wife at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Recently, I literally rolled over 20 times, made it once out of those 20, and then decided, okay, I won, I'll never do it again. And then I had to guide it a couple times, and I'd bypass it or shoot it and not roll over and just say, we'll just move on to the next spot. And this time, a couple months ago, I took a bunch of guys from the Pacific Northwest through there, and I one-shot it like it was nothing. Like it was a joke of an obstacle. And there was nothing I'd done differently. It just went.
That inch.
Kevin, you can go way down below 15 with even no bead locks.
I was running 10 with no bead locks, but I was also running a 13 and a half wide tire on a 9-inch. I mean,
that fits the 2/3 rule.
Yeah, it fits the 2/3 rule. And it worked until one day.
Until it didn't.
It worked until it didn't.
So it worked for many, many trails until we were on the Rubicon, and I kept hearing air burping out of the tires, I'm like, man, I'm down to like 6 PSI. I should really feel it. Oh.
Too late.
How do you guys go to the bathroom in the race trucks in Baja?
I raced a number of years ago, navigator for Joe Bacall for Lexus. And we're condom catheter, basically. That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
It's a condom catheter. So
it's a thing that goes over the thing with the hose that comes off of the thing.
Yep, and it hangs out the bottom of your boot. And of course, when you test it, because I'm testing it in the streets of Ensenada.
If I want to get my wife more involved in the sport.
Good luck.
So I'm a little bit different simply because I've been into cars since as long as I can remember. So having already that passion about it obviously helps a lot. But I would honestly say, and y'all can agree with me on this if that's the case with your wife, the main thing is probably making sure that your wife is going to enjoy what you're about to do. And that means if she doesn't enjoy like the scary rock crawling, you better not be going to do scary rock crawling.
Get them out of the passenger seat. Because the minute they're in control of the car, all bets are off. Because that side of it is a whole lot. you're a terrible passenger.
I hate it.
I am too. We are the worst passengers ever.
We are the worst because
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let me educate myself. I get online and I read something in this one website or this one, people that think sounds like they know what they're talking about. I'm like, okay, and then you search a little more. You search a little more, and you're like, wait, these people are saying something completely different.
Well, and the crazy thing is, even industry experts will say that the other industry expert is wrong. that there's misinformation
Right.
between
Everywhere.
experts.
These guys have been around so long. I'm sure they see somebody out there on the trail doing something that they shouldn't be doing. And me, I would see it and be like, maybe I should go talk to him or help him, or I know something a little better. Where I don't know for sure, but maybe you see him like, another jackass, like, or, like,
We would never say that.
There might be the thought, but you, as an ambassador for the sport,
right,
you take it upon yourself. It's almost a moral obligation,
right,
to
Absolutely.
take the step forward, to be the person that says something, and to do it, in nice ways, and break them into the sport the right way. But there has to be the discussion. Somebody's got to start.
right. There are rules of the trail, uphill versus downhill versus one person versus 10 people coming at you. There's all that kind of stuff that you learn etiquette as you go.
Yeah.
But if you start with respect, I think going from there,
and
you can't go wrong.
The great part about what you guys are building is they can learn that all right away.
Right.
They don't have to go out on the trail, do the wrong things, and then be told by somebody. They can build that knowledge first,
Right.
Prepares them.
Rather
and
than
then
trial
get out
and error.
there and fit right in. Right.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. I know as I get older, you wanna know, or you wanna feel like you know everything, or it's a little harder to ask for help or ask questions. And it just happens with age, I guess. You just start getting a little more stubborn or a little
prideful.
more prideful or whatever it is. When you're younger,
I think that's a guy trait.
Well,
it might be a guy trait, but if I go out there and I have no idea how to use my lockers, and somebody says, "Are you locked up?" and you don't know what "are you locked up" is, and then somebody's spotting the trail, "Hey, are y'all locked up?" "Yeah, I'm locked up."
I've
Like,
had that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm locked up.
I'm locked up.
Are you gonna tell me what three-wheel drive was?
Three-wheel drive is locked front, rear open.
Okay, that's what I.
And
I
you
had it
actually-
backwards.
He had it
So-
backwards.
And as much as a Jeep, or I should say the rest of the rock crawling industry will tell you, and manufacturers even build it into their vehicles, where it's either four locked, all four tires locked up, or rear locker.
Rear only, right.
It doesn't actually turn as quick and as easily as front locked and rear open. And there's some tricks to make that work accordingly.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode. And until then, we hope to see you
Out on the trails.
Take care, everybody. Goodbye.